start off saying to all ancestors known and unknown, Ashe. 1, 2, 3, call out your ancestors that are past. Now to all gods known and unknown, so we'll call out a few of those entities. Osar, Yeshua, Asi, Aset, Heru, Cthulhu, Imhotep, Apollo, Aphrodite, Cam, Spam, a little more. Go ahead. Oshun, Ogun, Rumala, Obatala, Natumpa, Umelinga, Bashashetu,
Amen Ra,
Shiva, Krishna, Dana, Apollo, let's see a few other ones. Kali, Kalima, Maya, Zek, Sekme, Seshet, any more you fancy you want to call? Ashe. So to all ancestors known and unknown, all gods known and unknown, I want to give a special shout out to an entity that I'm going to talk about tonight called Lavado. So I want you to repeat his name, Lavado. Ashe.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. I see a lot of familiar faces.
We can't hear you, man.
Thank you for coming, and I see a lot of familiar faces out there. But I would like to be here for a few minutes to introduce somebody that amazed me. Okay, and I think that it was meant to be, because I guess I was really looking for that. But I found a tape. I was given a tape with this brother. And after that, every day, every night, I would get home. The next morning, I was looking at this brother's tape. And I thought that he was just too fantastic. So eventually we were able to get in touch with him and he came here. But he's a genius. He's a godsend. And I want you to listen and take lots of notes, and he'll really teach you something. So I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Freeman-El.
I'd like for you to honor the one God that will help you more than any other God. That's the God inside yourself. Give him and her an applause. The title of this subject matter falls under a very ancient concept that is not popularized in most of the movement because of from whence it came to us in the most contemporary period, out of the Moorish science temple of Noble Drew Ali. And for whatever strange reason, the heavy brothers, that is, the brothers who could read, this is what I mean by that, got turned off by Drew Ali's efforts during the time of Garvey. But what most of them didn't know is Noble Drew Ali was Garvey's teacher. He was also Father Divine's teacher, Elijah Muhammad's teacher, Sweet Daddy Grace's teacher. I didn't bring it. I got a picture because I can't circle them. A photograph with all those brothers standing together in Chicago. I got it. And they're all on there. Plus we don't know about. The concept that should first be introduced as a entrance and insert into our psychology is the concept Moor. And I want to point out that it's been in and is still in the American dictionary, but more accurately and more helpfully, you'll find it not under the M's, but under the B's, under the word blackamoor. Right after the word black, you'll find the word black dash amour. There, it doesn't give a definition. In fact, there are not very many definitions in the Bible. I mean, in the dictionary. It gives a descriptive. Dark skin, African. Anyone living in Africa is how one particular rendering reads. I'd like to mention this. I think it was in '87, I found a Funk and Wagnall dictionary in Goodwill, paperback for 50 cents. And every time I find a dictionary, the first thing I turn to is the B's, look for blackamoor. And it was there. And it read dark-skinned African. Anyone living in Africa. Then right under there, in parentheses, it read, a name no longer used. Blew me away. That they had X'd you out and had the audacity to verify that they'd X'd you out. But the problem got involved in choosing sides and choosing organizations, I think, was the major difficulty for the brothers after the most recent black renaissance of Carter G. Wilson's period, and that group of brothers that were revising, that brought that information forward around the period of 1920, 21, 23, 24, around there. So the concept got lost and buried by being given to the common man, the working brother, the brother who could hardly read. That was his savior. And Drew only presented them with a little pamphlet called the Koran Circle 7. And it was an extract, much of it was from a book by a Jew boy named Levi Dowling called The Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ. That's where he got most of that information out of, and then changed some of it to fit the format he was preparing. And it states on this pamphlet he had prepared this information. He didn't write it, he doesn't state, but he prepared it. Where it was God, he changed it to allow God, and inserted certain statements about the Moabites and Moab. And I think that distanced him even further away from the religious body of American Negroes who could read, the owl literate, because 1920, you're thinking probably 70, if not greater percentage of African Americans in this country could not read. In 1920 to 1929, there weren't too many interested in reading no way. Because, if the things got hard for that white boy, you can imagine how hard it was for black folks. So it was all about finding something to eat, being able to pay the rent, buy some clothes for the kids. It wasn't about books at that period of time. Nonetheless, that's when Nosrali appeared on the scene. But the brother that was before him, I think hold on just a second. I want you to see this. So most of you already have seen it, but I want to I'm always doing psychological visuals. When you talk about knowledge, there should be some form of imagery to help you hold it in consciousness, rather than just to mention a person is one thing, but to present his image is reinforcing to the idea and thought from and about that particular person. And this is where my kitchen table looks at home.
Leave your jacket out here.
Everything, just like this. So I keep my kitchen, just like the stuff all under and on and stuff I'm looking for. I just pull that out of here. And nobody at that, I guess they wasn't interested. Nobody at that conference asked me if I was a Mason. Not one. That I found intriguingly interesting, because my assumption then was that everybody assumed I was, and I'm not. Or they could care less. One or the other. I know. Just had it in my head, it's right in my face. It's usually right in my face when I'm looking for it. So, but I will fold it. I do this to keep stuff from getting lost. What I'm looking for is a picture of Benjamin Banneker Bay. Benjamin Banneker, let me see, it might be inside here. But what I wanted to reinforce this with, this is the young Benjamin Banneker. That's the elder Benjamin Banneker. Okay. Can you see it? But I Xeroxed the $2 bill, the back of the $2 bill, and walked off and left it in color. This man is on the back of the $2 bill, sitting in the bleachers. There's only one there with clear white hair, but of course on the dollar bill it looks green. The older the $2 bill you have, the clearer it is that it's the black man sitting among all these Europeans. And I suspect, since I'm supposed to have the $2 bill up there, there's another man standing at the front of the room near a table, standing up. But you got to look real carefully, real close. I'm convinced that's John Hanson, the first president of the colonies, not of the United States, but of the colonies, who gave George Washington his general commission. I'll get to the other ancient African phenomena on our money in a bit. Moorish science is the body of knowledge that deals with the truth of your identity and the truth of self-knowledge and the practice of self-revelation, which is a practice. You can't academically awaken the soul. You have to get in tune with the soul. So if we read 80 books or 80,000 on melanin, it would only help you a little bit. Of course, it would give you melanin dreams at night. And then, strangely enough, for some of you, all you have to do is sit down and get quiet. And let your God do the rest. That's how advanced you are spiritually. Now, in my mind and heart, I'm not trying to destroy this whiteboard. I'm trying to help you wake up. And I say this with all sincerity. Fuck it. I wanted to say this in the last couple of days. We are not in charge of the Creator's creation. The Creator is. We have to find out just what the brother was saying. Find out what you are supposed to do. You came here on this planet to do something. You came here with talents, abilities, and power. Somebody gave you the illusion of inferiority. And our parents bought it and handed it down to us. And we're supposed to stop that cycle. My generation didn't stop it for your generation. But they went and got big cars and good jobs. You know, in the mid-60s when that stuff started, you know, with the anti-poverty program. Negroes went from store clerks to vice presidents, superintendents, supervisors overnight. These Negroes took off blue jeans and put on, at that time, $150 suit was a real suit in 1968, 69. You know. So the white boys sent them again away from themselves. You know, with his hands out like this. I'm going to help you. Anti-poverty program. We've been so duped so many damn times. Distracted is the real term. Identity. Who you are, what you are, and where you are is all found in this esoteric body of knowledge that first was hidden, then chopped up and passed around as another school of thought called New Age. That's what the white boy did with your identity. That he didn't put into the Masonic order and the Eastern Star order and 16 other orders that you couldn't get into at that time, and most of you didn't want to, because the good Reverend told you that was the devil's order. If you was a Mason, you was the devil, as far as Reverend Bishop was concerned. But what the people that he was telling that to didn't know he was a Mason. 80% of your ministry are Masons. And they're told to do this. Keep the secret. I'm talking about parents who are Masons and told their children nothing. I can't blame the sister because the Eastern Star didn't know much. They didn't tell her much. That was a servant order for the male Masonic order. She didn't know much. What you see in front of you on my fez there is the crescent and the star. But you also see on that medallion that's supposed to be the face of a queen. But not a male, that's supposed to be a female. That's supposed to be the mother Zodiac, who is referred to in occult information as Isis. And one of the brothers back in Cleveland said that with that sword up over that woman's head meant that represented the European holding the Moors in slavery. Well, now either he was lying, and Masons will do that. They either won't tell you nothing or they tell you a good lie. One or the other. You know, they gonna keep their oath. There's no doubt about it. I've already pointed out in the other lecture about the crescent and the star in terms of Mars, Sun. Will not be beautiful artwork. Make sure it's seen. Outline. What is this called? Anybody? What's the common name for that?
Scimitar.
No, the common name. Sword, right. Thank you so much, because I had lost that one. Look at that word. Now look at this word.
That leg is not
right.
at the back.
The back one?
It's got to come towards you.
This is a symbol of power. I'm trying to think of the that company. One of the Islamic verses that is often painted in Arabic along with this ayat, this verse. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, la ilaha illallah, which is a statement of power. This object represents power. Usually, on the first level, it's fighting power. But in the science, in the knowledge and of the language of symbology, it represents power. Therefore, in English, again, it represents words of power. The key is the sword is above the head, on top of the head, where the mind is pointed to, where words come out of the human, from the mind, from the head. Now the key here, for you all, when I say you all, I mean the feminine Moores, that's your ethnic name. That is up over a female's head, announcing the power of the word is in your mind, is what that symbol stands for. That the power is already there. You simply have to find out how to use it correctly. That is, beneficially. Because you've been using it against yourself. In your thought, in your deed, and in your spoken word. Moores, Lord of the earth, is the meaning of Moor. Lord of the earth is the Lord of, let's see what the earth is. Look at that word. First of all, when you see this word in this book, it doesn't mean the planet. It means your body. That's the earth in that book. When you're Lord of the earth and have mastered it, that's when you're Lord of the physical plane. When you're Lord of that earth, that's when you're divine. When you're Lord of your heart.
That's when you're what?
Divine. Yes. Perfect God. I remember I heard a brother say, I think it was here today, we're not loving. He may well be right. And until you get this open, ain't much love flowing. Because this is the center through which the power of love flows through, the heart center. That is what you're supposed to be about. In terms of this, first, that's the first man, as I mentioned the other night. All you need to do is remove the B to see where the word woman comes from. Master, able, and noble is man. Real man. Not a job getting Negro with a big check. Ain't nothing wrong with none of that. But that doesn't make him M-A-N. When he masters his body, his mind, and his spirit, that's when he's a man. And until he does that, he can't do G-O-D. Generator, operator, destroyer. Generator, your brain. That generates the energy for the whole body. Operator is the soul in the very center of your body, right behind your sternum bone, approximately the size of your thumb. And the reason I'm saying that is because the Spirit showed it to me. Now I want to tell you this. I was standing on Euclid Avenue in Cleveland, Ohio, and the Spirit showed me everybody's soul on that street. It's broad daylight. Most of it was white people. Well, there was black folks. Black folks live down everywhere. They all had the same level of soul awakening at that point that it was shown to me. So we don't want to hear anymore about they ain't got no soul. Everything down here has a soul, include the ant and the elephant. It's not just having a soul or being a soul, it's becoming conscious of your soul nature. That's the work that you want to be about. If there's no consciousness, then the only thing in charge is the back of that person's head, the subconscious. Because that's what operates the physical body. The subconscious part of the brain, the cerebellum she was talking about today. But you're greater than that. That's your tool. That's not supposed to dominate your thinking. It's something you're supposed to use. The higher part of your mind, so-called mind, which actually is the brain when you point to the head, the mind is throughout the whole body. From the crown of your head to the very soles of your feet is where your mind does its thinking. But you control it and direct it from the head. I want the sister to read John 10. I had to sit here almost an hour holding this Bible. Read John 10:31 to 36. Right in your eyes.
Yeah. Then the Jews took up stones again to stone him. Jesus answered them, "Many good works have I shown you from my Father. For which of these works do ye stone me?" The Jews answered him, saying, "For a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because that thou, being a man, makest thyself God." Jesus answered them, "Is it not written in your law, I said, ye are gods? If he calls them God, unto whom the word of God came, and the scripture cannot be broken. Say ye of him, whom the Father has sanctified, and sent into the world, thou blasphemest, because I said, I am the Son of God."
Okay, stop right there. Thank you. But while you're sitting there, turn to Psalm 82, verse 5 to 8. I don't let a lecture go by where I don't mention those two verses. "Know ye not that ye are gods?" That is the central theme in every religious book on planet Earth. For whatever culture, it doesn't matter what language or what scripture. That's the central theme, that the whole human race is supposed to receive at some point in their cultural development. Now, I have to repeat this. I just started repeating this in the last couple of years because I ran into a couple of Moors that got out of hand when they heard it for the first time. That does not make you God by yourself. And some of us might need to hear that. But this one sister jumped up after I gave a lecture in her house. It wasn't about 6 or 7 of us there. And she jumped right on the old man. "Shut up, I'm God." Keeping in mind that if you're looking for power, your ego is looking for power. It will steal it from you. And you can feel it when your ego gets a hold of real truth. You tighten up. Your vertebrae gets a little straighter. You begin to feel real important. But that's supposed to be happening in your heart, not your ego. If you feel that happening in your ego, then you know you're converting your illusion of inferiority into the illusion of superiority. Very interesting psychology. She's going to read Psalm 82, verse 5 to 8. 82, verse 5 to 8.
"They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High."
Stop right there. Does not your scripture say that ye are gods? That's what we find in John 10, 31 to 36. There's a scripture that says again, ye are gods. Now that is what should be coming across the pulpit in every black church in America. And the rest of the information in the same book that validates that presentation. And I suspect it's not being done. That's my suspicion. The Codex Inscriptus is the concept that is missing from the secular body of knowledge in the ABC presentation of a religious belief system. The code written in to the dictionary, the language, and the scripture, and other esoteric vocabularies that compose the occult or esoteric literatures that most of our people don't even know it exists, and more than half of them think that's all the devil's work. That's, again, a contribution to the Negro colored preacher, because he didn't study it. He didn't find it beneficial for his congregation to study it. And the white boy was busy out there not studying, digging it up, including your ancestral books. That's why everything you pick up about Egypt usually is written by somebody white. You know? While our folks were doing ABC books on what Jesus said. And half the time they didn't have that right. I keep talking about the preacher because he's in your world as to whether you want him to be or not. He can say, come here, and there come 5,000. He said, we say come here, and 5 might come. You know? That's how much power he has in your world. I'm going to jump right into the 12 great fears because I forgot to do them last year, and I don't want to forget to do them this year. This isn't right where they belong. I'm supposed to go right to the 12 essences of Moor science. But I'm going to jump at this factor here because this is a problem area that every one of us must solve, and most of us need to dissolve. Notice I said dissolve. Some problems cannot be solved. They don't have a solution, but they can be dissolved so that they're no longer relevant to the thinker and his or her path and direction. This is the stuff that gets in the way, that blocks your heart center, your pineal gland, your crown chakra, and the other spiritual centers in your vertebrae area, so that you can get to the power from the other body, the astral body, that lends its power to the physical body. Remember, Jesus said the body profits nothing. And all of the rest of the bodies are referred to as spirit or spiritual bodies. But much of what you're functioning with is through the astral body, giving its energy and intelligence to the physical body, animating the physical body. If you don't believe or understand that, when you woke up that morning and you had to reach up and get your arm with your other hand because your arm was dead. Now, you've had that experience? Well, it was actually dead because your spirit nature, your soul nature had moved away from the arm limb. Remember, Paul said we die daily. That's the art of dying. You're supposed to learn how to die. Go out the body and come back in. Oh Lord, I need no need to how to go out or come in, is what Solomon said. That's what he's talking about. We're talking about going out the damn door. He didn't know how to do that. He didn't know how to go out the body and get back in. And you do that and practice that. Then you're over the fear of death. It's gone. If you've done it 2,000 or 3,000 times in the next 20 years, then they doing nothing but take your jacket off and lay it down and go on about your damn business. Just don't get caught. Don't leave like that. Don't tell them where you wake up. Because at a certain point, the Moor stops sleeping.
Yes.
He rests. She rests in peace in bed. Above your body. Not in your body. So if somebody comes to do something to your body, you can turn around to them, get the hell out of my house. You see? If you lay there dead as a doornail, he come and beat you with an iron club and leave. You don't even know who beat you up. You're supposed to quit sleeping. Rest. When you wake up, you're supposed to stay awake. Now understand something. We ain't talking stuff here. We talking about G-O-D, real God, sitting right in here with all kind of powers, talents, and abilities. All of us in here should have at least 5 or 6 experiences having healed somebody, worked at least 5 or 6 minor miracles, if not no great miracles. That's the kind of power and talent you have. If you think you are, like the sister said, I want to say something a little bit. Well, I'm just an ordinary. Excuse me. With her pretty self, that much she's just ordinary. That's the biggest trick we bought yet. Ain't nothing ordinary about you. There's something extraordinary. And you have to receive that the right way. Truth is that knowledge that awakens you to your reality. If you want to distinguish between truth and fact, and then falsehood. If the knowledge doesn't awaken you, that's not truth. That's fact. If it distracts you, that's a lie. I don't care who it's coming from. It can be the good Reverend Biscuit. The fear of the loss of one's love. This taunts us, torments us, makes us write 1 billion songs to keep that woman at home. What do you think all that music is about? It ain't about I love God. It's about I love that pretty black woman. But much of it is done out of anxiety and out of fear. Particularly the entire dramatization. I don't know if Bobby hit on that or not. The whole dramatization and era of the blues. We wrote about our fear of the loss of our loved one. We need to appreciate the power of love and what it does in and for a human being that changes her and changes him. So the person who loves you, you can feel her love if you get still and take your hand off your ding wing. Because it ain't happening down there, it's happening up here. When you feel it down here, she twists her neck, and this energy is coming out of her neck to get you hot. All she got to do is think about you. You'd be getting out the car. And if she wants you, all she got to do is think about you. You know? Raise it up. Huh? With a thought, a woman can do that. She's in charge of sex on planet Earth. This is a female planet. Nature gave her the power over sex and over the sex organs. That's her natural power. So she can procreate, populate. She would have to have that power. But if she doesn't have control of it, she'll use it against herself. She'll become a slave instead of a mistress, which is the feminine word for master. I think the sister looked at me like this. Now you're right, sister. You ain't his. Yes, you are his mistress. For most brothers. You see how they follow you down the street. Hey, well, hold up, sister. He ain't looked in your face yet. Oh, come here. You don't know what you look like. You see that movement in them hips. You got it. We have to give back honor to our women. And we're going to win this war of the spirit and the flesh. Again, fuck that white boy. Get your mind on right. Put on the mind of God. And the mind of Goddess. That is the same mind. She has powers that you don't have. When she get her stuff together, she can take you and lay you on her stomach and take you to heaven. That's how much power she got. But she can't do it if she ain't got God on, going all up here. She'll take you to hell.
That's right.
Or keep you down here on the earth. The fear of death. This is what haunts most human beings. Is the fear of death. Death is when you fall asleep. You are dead. Well, they tell me you can do any more than a dead man can do when you sleep and when he's in the coffin. Losing consciousness is the entrance of death. Then losing your ability to get back in your body. Because most of the time we leave the body. You do a lot of traveling that you don't even know about. See? Until you confront yourself with the fact that you have the ability to travel.
That's right.
Then you click on something on the subconscious level that lets you see what you're doing while your body is asleep. You can see yourself go out and see yourself coming back in. The master say you go to school most nights. That is, if you haven't been living a crazy life. If you owe too much debt, some of them dark ones that come and get you and take you to hell and beat your ass. And then send you back up in your body. Learn to rest, and not to faint. The fear of hunger. The fear of poverty. Those two have tormented black folks. And fear becomes phobic to the point where you have money in your pocket. Be scared to spend it. Be scared to lend it. Be scared to make it grow. The fear of criticism. Another tormentor. We don't like to be criticized. Not because it really has any power, but because we've not gained the certainty of self is what erases criticism. When you know who you are, you begin to realize what you can do. Self-knowledge comes forward to tell you what you have with you, about your talents, your abilities, and your power that you already have. Not what you got from Uncle White Boy USA University. You came here with talents, powers, and abilities.
That's right.
When those come forward, these start disappearing. Almost instantaneously. The fear of sickness and disease, dis-ease, if you notice the break. I know you've heard that word before. That's no great revelation. Dis-ease, psychological uneasiness, promoted by fear. The fear of failure, the fear of rejection. This is a huge one in Africa, America, Can you see over there? Standing in the way? The fear of suffering. The fear of the devil. The fear of the loss of one's soul. Most importantly, the fear of pain. Kwame Nkrumah said, if you can overcome the fear of pain, you overcome all fear. Of course, that isn't what the Master taught. What did the Master teach about fear? Perfect love cast out all fear. Perfect love cast out all fear. A theorem that a brother gave me a few days ago said something quite interesting. The human being is operating from two motivations. One of two. Either he's operating from fear or he's operating from love. There is no in between. The power that joins your fear works against you. The power that joins your love raises you up. So you're in one or two of those mental, spiritual camps. And then I love today and hate tomorrow. That's duality. Going on at the same time is what you should be able to call confusion. The heart was made for love, for power. It allows you to operate the law of attraction on this universe. With love in your heart chakra, which is approximately in the center of your chest, in your astral body,
Yes.
interconnected with your physical heart, allows you to move the law of attraction to draw to you your good. That includes wealth, cars, and a good woman, and a good man. Notice I did not say women, plural. We know that's confusion. We all had that experience. So we got the sister over here, and the sister over there, and the sister over here. And he buying confusion. Now this is my addition here. There is no fear of being ignorant in black folks' life. Did y'all hear me there? We don't harbor a fear of ignorance, though it should make us shudder. We used to have the fear of being black. That's a projection that we're overcoming that illusion. The fear of being black. That's pretty much the basis of what wrong psychology is in our consciousness, in our mind. I hope I turn right to this here. I'm not spending too much time. Yeah, we're gonna look at that. But I want to get some format out here so that you know what we're talking about and not just point to stuff and start defining it, then I become a didactic, with no evidence or verification from whence I'm speaking. I don't want to do that. There's enough belief stuff going on as it is. We're trying to bring you some knowledge that you can verify use to transform yourself and to prove to be true knowledge. I had these sorted out here. We can use it. The way I had it, the day I had it. I'm looking for one page here. No, it's in the book.
This one that came out of the book.
Huh?
One that slid out of the book.
No, those are 7,012. We'll get over those in a minute. I had it folded back so I could reach in here, but that was yesterday. I know they're in here. No, it's not on there. It's in here. Oh, okay. Last night too. Went through this whole thing and couldn't find the page.
Well, Stephen, I'll look for it for you.
Thank you for the light. Here we are. I want you to see me while I'm talking about it. The 12 essence of Moorish science. The real Kabbalah, and not the construct of the 9 planets in the sun. The science of symbology is the science of nature that does its art in nature. The most conspicuous one, of course, as we've already gone over, is the sun and the moon. Well, the sun and the moon is right. Because the sun represents the 5-pointed star. There is no 5-pointed star in the heavens. There is no crescent moon in the heavens. The moon is always full. There's a movement of the moon and the shadowing, where you get this calligraphy of certain segments of the moon of 4 phases. There's a 5-pointed star inside a Macintosh apple. There's a 5-pointed star in the ocean. There's a 5-pointed star on many types of leaves. There's also a 5-pointed star in your astral forehead. At whatever point you reach that spiritual awareness and it comes forward. And wherever it's vibrating will be the color of that star. A perfect geometrical 5-pointed star. Which is swastika. Those of you in here, look and see how he's standing. That's swastika. That's Zanoni in the Latin. Swastika is a Sanskrit word, not a German word. Star child is the meaning of Zanoni. That's your nature. That's your 5 points of projection. Arm, leg, arm, head. English letters. It's not Arabic. No, that's not Allah. That's arm, leg, arm, head. I gotta go a little fast. I see Bobby getting fidgety over there. I know he's getting filled up.
No, take your time, man. However you want.
Islam.
That's not Islam.
Islam.
No, it's not. That's I-S-L-A-M. I, self, law, and master. Keep in mind, we're talking English here. The 26 letters of the English alphabet. There's no Arabic characters anywhere there. I, self, law, and master. I. This I, not the ego I. And I'm going to keep warning you about that ego. It's a mother. A mother of foolishness. You want to know what's the mother of. Let me give you the mathematics of it, since we're dealing with it already. I'm supposed to jump right in. I do this happens because I want to get to something right away.